Hi dear friends, how are you? After long days I getting the chance to see you. Very nice to see you dear friends. I am your history teacher. I hope all are fit and fine in your home. Dear friends, we know that due to the corona pandemic, the whole country has locked down itself. The country is struggling with schools, teachers and lack of education. The most of the schools of the country have started online classes. Dear students, you must take advantage of this opportunity. Our school management also started the channel for giving the online classes to continue our study. It will help us to cover the syllabus and to maintain the flow of study. This connection is not limited to the class, but the session will be available for all. I recommend you take the practice in history, especially years and events, map, definitions, explanations, some other facts. I will love to see your individual talents and strengths. If you have any query, you can ask in the WhatsApp group. I welcome you all to join in the online classes. I hope to see you soon in the class. Stay home, stay safe. Dear students, in 7th standard civics, the first one is we are going to discuss about to know about the learning object. To identify four different types of market structures, to know the differences between each type of market structure, to understand why consumers need protection, to understand the rights of consumers. Introduction about the lesson market and consumer production. When we talk about market, we generally visualize a crowded place with a lot of shops and consumers. People are buying different types of goods like groceries, clothing, electronics, etc. in the market. The shops are also selling a variety of products and services as well. So, in a traditional sense, a market in where buyers and sellers meet to exchange their goods and services. But what is a market in economics? In economics, we do not refer to market as a physical place. Economists described a market as coming together of the buyers and sellers. That is an arrangement where buyers and sellers come in direct or indirect contact to sell, buy goods and services. For example, the market for books will constitute all the sellers and buyers of books in an economy. It does not necessarily refer to a geographic location. A setup where two or more parties engaged in exchange of goods, services, and information is called market. Ideally, a market is a place where two or more parties are involved in buying and selling. The two parties involved in a transaction are called seller and buyer. The seller sells goods and services to the buyer to in exchange of money. There has to be more than one buyer and sellers for the market to be competitive. Next, we are going to discuss about the topic names, dear students, features of a market. In economics, the term market refers to the shops for one commodity or a set of commodities. For example, the market of rice, a market for clothes, a market for electronics goods, etc. A market is also not restricted to one physical or geographical location. It covers a general wide area and the demand and supply for sub-region. There must be a group of buyers and sellers of the commodity to constitute a market, and the relations between the sellers and buyers must be business relations. Both the sellers and buyers must have access to knowledge about market. There should be an awareness of the demand for products, consumers' choices, and represent fashion trends, etc. At any given time, only one price can be prevalent in the market for goods and services. This is only possible in the existence of perfect competition. Broadly, there are two classifications of market. The first one, the product market, and the second is factor market. The factor market refers to a market for the buying and selling of the factors of production like land, capital, labor, etc. The other classification of markets are follows on the basis of the geographic location, local markets. In such a market, the buyers and sellers are limited to the local region or area. They usually sell perishable goods of daily use since the transportation of such goods can expensive. Regional markets. These markets cover wider or the local markets like districts or the clusters of a few smaller states. Next, we are going to discuss about the topic names, dear students, the national market. This is when the demand for a goods is limited to one specific country, or the government may not allow the trade of such goods outside national boundaries. Next, international market. When the demand for the product is international and the goods are also traded internationally in bulk quantities, we call it as an international market. Next, we are going to discuss about the on the basis of time, very short period market. This is when the supply of the goods is fixed, and so it cannot be changed instantaneously. Say, for examples, market for flowers, vegetables, fruits, etc. The price of the goods will demand and the demand. National market. This is when already we have read this national market. This is when the demand for the goods is limited to the one specific country. It's not it. Next, sport market. This is where sport transaction occur. That is, the money is paid immediately. There is no system of credit. Futures market. This is the where the transaction or credit transaction there is a promise to pay the consideration sometimes in the future. On the basis of regulations, regulated market. In such a market, there is some oversight by appropriate government authorities. This is to ensure there are no unfair trade practice in the market. Such markets may refer to a product or even a group of products. For example, the stock market in a highly regulated market. Unregulated market. This is an absolutely free market. There is no oversight on or regulations. The market forces decide everything. Monopoly. Monopoly refers to market structure in which there is a single producer or seller that has a control on the entire market. This single seller deals in the products that have no close substitute. Monopolistic competition. The term monopolistic competition was given by Professor Edward H. Chamberlain of Harvard University in 1933 in his book Theory of Monopolistic Competition. Next, oligopoly. The term oligopoly has been derived from two Greek words. Oligoi means few and poly means control. Therefore, oligopoly refers to a market form in which there are few sellers dealing either in the homogeneous or differentiated products. Who is a consumer? A consumer is a person who purchases a product or avails a service for a consideration, either for his personal use or to earn his livelihood by means of self employment. The consideration may be paid, promise, partially paid, and partially promised. It also includes a beneficiary of such goods services when such use is made with the approval of such person. Who is not a consumer? A person is not a consumer if he she purchase any goods or avails any service free for of charge. Purchase is a good or eyes of service for commercial purpose. Avails any service under contract of service. And unfair trade practice means a trade practice which for the purpose of promoting any sale, use or supply the any goods or services adopts unfair method or unfair or um, deceptive practice. Some of this practice include false representation when goods and services are not of stated standard quality or grade, when second-hand renovated goods are sold as new ones, when goods and services do not have any claimed usefulness or benefit, when products services do not have any claimed warranty guarantee, when the price of product or service is misleading. False and misleading advertisements of selling at bargain price, offering gifts, prizes, etc. to lure customers with no intention of providing them, selling goods which do not fall within the safety standards set up by the competent authority. Hoardings are destroying goods with intention of pricing the cost of these or similar goods manufactured in greater number so as to manipulate higher prices. Manufacturing or offering spurious goods or adopting deceptive practice in the provision of services. Next, we are going to discuss about the topic name is dear students consumer protection. Consumer production, consumer protection. Consumer protection is a group of laws enacted to protect the rights of the consumers, fair trade, competition, and accurate information in the marketplace. The laws are designed to prevent the business that engage in unfair practice from gaining and advantage over competitors. They may also provide additional protection for those most vulnerable in society. Consumer protection laws are the form of government regulations that aim to protect the rights of consumers. For example, government may require businesses to disclose detailed information about the products, particularly in areas where safety or public health is an issue, such food. Consumer protection is linked to the ideas of consumer rights and to the formation of consumer organizations which helps consumer make better choices in the marketable place and get help with consumer complaints. Other organizations that promote consumer protection include government organizations and self-regulating business organizations. Examples: Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, TRA, TRAI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI. The eight basic consumers' rights: the right of basic needs, the right of safety, the right to information, the right to choose, the right to representation, the right to redress, the right to consumer education, the right to healthy environment. The Consumer Protection Act 1986, COPRA. This act enacted in 1986 in the Parliament of India to protect the interest of consumers. It markets for the establishment of consumer councils and other authorities for the settlement of consumers' grievances and for the matters connected there with it. The act was passed in Assembly in October 1986 and came into force on December 24, 1986. COPRA is regarded as the Magna Carta in the field of the consumer protection for the checking unfair trade practices, defects in goods, and deficiencies in services. As far as India is concerned, it has led to the establishment of a widespread network of consumer forums and appellate courts all over India. It has significantly impacted how business approach consumer complaints and has empowered consumers to a great extent. Consumer Protection Act 2019. Indian Parliament in August 2019 passed the landmark Consumer Protection Bill 2019, which aims to provide the timely and effective administration and settlement of consumer disputes in this digital age. The new act will come into force on a such date as the central government may so notify. The new act seeks to replace more three decades old Consumer Protection Act 1986 Act. Highlights of the new act: e-commerce transaction. The new act has widened the definitions of consumer. The definitions now include any persons who buys any goods, whether through offline or online transaction, electronic means teleshopping, direct selling, or multi-level marketing. Establishment of Central Consumer Protection Authority. The new act pro- proposes the establishment of the regulatory authority known as the Central Consumer Protection Authority. With wide power of enforcement, the CCPA will have the investigation wing headed by the Director General, which may conduct inquiry or investigation into consumer law violations. Unfair trade practices. The new act introduced the specific broad definitions of unfair trade practices, which also include sharing of personal information given by the consumer in confidence unless such disclosure to made in accordance with the provisions of any other law. District Consumer Disputes Redressal Forum. A district level court works at the district level with cases where the compensation claimed in up to 20 lakhs. Important acts: the Consumer Protection Act 1986, the Legal Metrology Act 2009, the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1986, the Essential Commodities Act 1955, the Prevention of Black Marketing and Maintenance of Supplies of Essential Commodities Act 1980.